Morning everybody, welcome to New Routes. I've lost count. I think it's something like 24. Ali will tell me later, I'm sure, how many it is, but I think it's about 24, and that's amazing. Also, the longevity of New Routes will be made even more obvious shortly when I introduce the judges. And possibly the longevity of the judges as well, who knows. Thank you so much for being here today. We've got a slightly smaller programme than we normally do, but what we might lack in quantity, we will certainly gain, I know, in quality. The judges have already heard, of course, the pieces that the performers have sent into them beforehand, so they know a little bit about them already. Let me let you know a little bit about the judges. We have, as our judge, we have Valmay Goodyear, who is a folk club organiser, workshop organiser, session organiser, musician herself, experienced folkie, definitely in lots of different forms of different aspects of folk, and has been a judge for us for quite a few years now, and is an absolutely perfect person to have on our judging panel because of the extent of her knowledge of folk music. That's Valmay. Next to her, we've got Andy Stafford. Andy came in to judge New Routes about 20 years ago, we reckon. He was the deputy for Steve Heap at the time. He was deputising for Steve Heap for a year, and he's still with us. He tried to escape last year because he was going to go and live in Scotland. He then decided to turn the map upside down and went to live in Cornwall, which is also a long way away, but we've managed to persuade him to come again this year, and I'm delighted that Andy's here. Andy is a musician, a caller, an organiser. He's been a steward, he's been a main steward at various festivals. He knows so much about the business that he is just a great asset to have. Next to Andy, we've got Fran Foote. Now, Fran is an alumnus of New Routes. She was here, my God, 2004. 2004, Fran was actually down here doing the thing. Damien Barber and Hannah James were the judges that year, the professional musician judges that year, and Fran is now performing herself, which is really great, and is a super person to have with us because not only has she got the performing experience, but she's also got the experience of standing in this spot and being in the hot seat, as it were, or the hot standing place. And finally, but by no means leastly, we have the wonderful Mr. Matt Quinn, who is also an alumnus of New Routes. He was here as a solo performer in 2014, but also with Doan Mehmet in 2007, yeah, as a duo. Flipping heck. So clearly, you know, it was in short trousers then. Matt is, I'm sure lots of you know Matt. He is a performer in various different ways, plays in ceilidh bands, plays solo, plays in lots of duos. Lovely duo with George Sansom at the moment that's going around doing touring right now. And lots of other projects. I mean, name a project, Matt's probably involved in it. And of course, he does also have the advantage of living in Sheffield, which is kind of where you need to be if you're doing anything folky these days. So those are our judges. Please give them a round of applause.